Jimmy Kimmel is clapping back after the president posted a brand new call for him to be thrown off the air.
You tried to get me fired in September. It didn't work, Mr. President.
Wednesday night, 8 weeks after his 6-day suspension and reinstatement, Jimmy criticized Trump's approval ratings.
You know, throwing a party at your private golf club where the theme is rich white people, hours before millions of Americans are set to lose their food assistance, might be the Trumpiest Trump move of all time. It felt like the last big bash before the Epstein files come out. The great Fatsby weighed in on the SNAP funding fiasco on his Twitter platform, Truth Social. He wrote, "I do not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right."
Donald Trump has feuded with a lot of people in his career, but there's something uniquely combustible about the fire between him and Jimmy Kimmel. It's not just political, it's not just cultural, it feels personal now. The kind of rivalry where every new headline pours gasoline on the last one, every insult lands harder than the one before, and every joke becomes a national event. And this week, the entire thing erupted again when Kimmel took the Epstein controversy, the one Trump has been desperately trying to outrun, and turned it into late-night ammunition. During his monologue, Kimmel looked into the camera, smiled with that familiar mischievous grin, and warned his audience to brace for Hurricane Epstein. Then he dropped the line that made the White House explode. What did the president know, and how old were these women when he knew it?
The gaslighting has reached a fever pitch as Trump cuts off the supply of food to children, families, senior citizens, etc. But Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, wants you to know, just because they're cutting off your food and want to cut off your health insurance, that doesn't mean...
The studio howled. The internet clipped it within seconds, and Donald Trump, watching somewhere between rage and panic, sprinted straight to Truth Social like a man gripping the last weapon he understands. Within minutes, Trump posted in all caps, accusing Kimmel of being a man with no talent and demanding that ABC get the bum off the air. It was the latest escalation in a feud that has been simmering for years, but now feels like it's reaching a point of no return. What triggered him this time wasn't just the joke, it was the timing. His administration was already under pressure after he signed a bill forcing the Justice Department to release long-requested documents related to Jeffrey Epstein.
This morning, he threatened to delay SNAP benefits to the 42 million Americans who need them until the shutdown is over. And then his press secretary had to go out there and walk that back because he legally can't do it. It really is amazing. The president says one thing, the White House says another entirely different. It's like the one hand doesn't know what the other tiny, bruised, makeup-covered, greasy, genitalia-grabbing, Sharpie-stained baby.
A move he thought would silence critics, but instead opened a tidal wave of scrutiny. Reporters were circling, activists were combing through old photographs, and journalists were poking into old social circles. Trump had already snapped at a reporter last week, calling them quiet piggy aboard Air Force One. The pressure was visible.
Sells hasn't discouraged the tantrum of the opera one bit. He took a break from posting photos of the new Lincoln toilet to brag about his new Trumpified Kennedy Center. He wrote, "It is really looking good. The exterior columns, which were in serious danger of corrosion if something weren't done, are completed and look magnificent in white enamel." I don't know. He also said white enamel looked magnificent on his son's dental caps. So, sir, could you turn down your teeth a little bit?
The cracks widening, and Jimmy Kimmel baited him right into the spotlight. But Kimmel didn't stop at one joke, not even close. The monologue became a full-blown roast of the administration, complete with clips of Trump rambling incoherently about magnets, paper straws, and something he called the Gulf of America. Kimmel mocked his meetings with Elon Musk and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, joking that Trump was gathering the billionaires and the oil barons to try to remember where he left his dignity. The audience ate it up. It felt like classic late-night chaos.
We're talking about conditions to this disaster. Look, there are natural disasters, but there are man-made disasters as well.
And which one are you?
But the White House saw it differently. To them, every punch Kimmel threw was another jab at Trump's already strained credibility, another reminder that comedy was once again shaping public opinion faster than official statements ever could. The timing couldn't have been worse for Trump. Just months earlier, ABC had suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live after a controversy following the killing of Charlie Kirk. It was a short hiatus, but the drama surrounding it turned Kimmel's return episode into the most watched broadcast in the show's history, pulling pulling in over 6.3 million viewers. Trump hated that. He hates any narrative where someone he attacks becomes more powerful because of him. And that's exactly what happened. Every time Trump tried to cancel Kimmel, Kimmel only grew bigger. This isn't their first round, and it won't be their last. Their feud has become one of the longest running celebrity versus president clashes of modern American politics. It's emotional, it's petty, it's showmanship versus ego, comedy versus power.
Are you going to meet with Democratic leadership?
I'm always going to meet. All they have to do is open up the country. Let them open up the country, and we'll meet. We'll meet very quickly. But they have to open up the country. It's their fault. Everything is their fault.
That's right. The buck stops over there.
And now, with the Epstein files dominating headlines again, the tension between them feels almost radioactive. Trump wants control, Kimmel wants jokes, and somewhere in the middle, the entire country is watching like it's the finale of a political reality show that never ends. But what came next is what truly ignited the internet. On Thursday night, responding directly to Trump's latest rant, Jimmy Kimmel fired back with something that instantly became one of the defining quotes of their rivalry. Standing center stage, smirking like a man who already knew his line would be replayed 1,000 times, he looked straight into the camera and spoke directly to the president.
F. Sharp Fitzgerald lapping it all up with his sidekick, little Marco Rubio. Look at Marco Rubio. It's rare you get to see a photo of someone at the precise moment their soul exits their body. There were all manner of colorful outfits at the party, including this guest who showed up in a prison jumpsuit.
If you're watching today, and I presume you are, how about this? I'll go when you go. The audience erupted. Kimmel wasn't joking anymore, or at least not only joking. There was something sharp behind his tone, something intentional. We'll be a team. Let's ride off into the sunset together like Butch Cassidy and the Suntan Kid. And then, without hesitation, he borrowed Trump's own insult and fired it right back at him. And until then, quiet, piggy. It was the kind of moment that crystallizes a feud, the kind that becomes its own cultural snapshot. For Trump supporters, it was disrespectful. For others, it was the most satisfyingly direct response to years of presidential intimidation tactics. And for Kimmel, it was a victory lap, another chapter in a rivalry he seems to enjoy far more than the man on the other side of it.
When Trump took over, he promised he would get rid of all the woke programming at the Kennedy Center and make it hot again. And I have to say, Fatty Lapone has lined up an absolutely magnificent new season of shows.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite president and Kennedy Center Chairman, me, with major news. We've got some fantastic new shows lined up, but I made a few minor changes, just like I did to the...
Trump's obsession with removing Kimmel from television has reached almost comical levels. Sources say he's mentioned Kimmel's name inside the White House more often than some foreign leaders. Earlier this year, he even tried pressuring local TV affiliates to drop Jimmy Kimmel Live entirely, a move that spectacularly backfired when broadcasters refused and journalists exposed the attempt. Not only did the show stay on the air, but ratings surged, advertisers flocked back, and the controversy transformed Kimmel into an even more prominent cultural voice. It's the political equivalent of punching your enemy and breaking your own hand, and yet Trump couldn't help himself. After Kimmel's latest jokes, he returned to Truth Social, claiming that Kimmel has very poor television ratings, even though the numbers show the opposite. He demanded again that ABC remove him, calling him totally biased, fake news entertainment, and a talentless clown. But this time, unlike previous attempts, Kimmel didn't just mock him, he challenged him to a deal. He turned Trump's rage into a negotiation. You want me gone? Then you go first. It hit Trump in the one place he cannot tolerate being hit, his pride, because for the first time, someone wasn't begging him to stop attacking them. They were inviting the fight. They were laughing at the threat. They were treating him not as a powerful president demanding compliance, but as a loud neighbor yelling at trees. And to Trump, that kind of humiliation is almost unforgivable. What makes this feud even more complex is the atmosphere surrounding it. Behind the late night jokes and social media meltdowns, the political world was shifting dramatically. Netflix had just outbid Paramount and Comcast to begin exclusive talks to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery in what could become one of the most disruptive entertainment mergers of the decade. Paramount was furious. Antitrust lawyers were circling. Producers were sending letters to Congress warning that Netflix was becoming too powerful. And in the background, Trump's administration, which strongly backed Paramount, was hinting at legal action. The entertainment industry was in one of its biggest shakeups in years, and somehow Donald Trump still found the time to wage war against a comedian. This contrasts global entertainment empires negotiating billion-dollar deals while the President of the United States publicly battles a late-night monologue, reveals exactly why the Kimmel-Trump feud resonates with people. It's absurd, it's dramatic, it's deeply human, it's politics and television merging into one endless loop of insults, jokes, and public statements that feel less like governance and more like a never-ending celebrity grudge match. And for Jimmy Kimmel, this is familiar territory. He knows exactly how to play this game. Every time Trump attacks him, he turns it into content. Every time Trump calls for his cancellation, he gains viewers. Every time Trump insults him, the internet responds with clips, memes, remixes, and highlight reels. If Trump truly wants Kimmel off the air, his worst possible move is to talk about him at all. But Trump's ego won't allow silence. He cannot ignore an insult. He cannot let a comedian land a punch without swinging back, even if every swing only helps the other guy. Meanwhile, Kimmel stands there, shocked but not shocked, watching the president boost his career for free. The jokes write themselves, the audience grows, the feud intensifies. And now, after that one sentence, "I'll go when you go," the power dynamic has flipped completely. Trump used to be the aggressor. Now he looks like a man being taunted by the one person he simply cannot silence. And as the Epstein files continue to unravel, as reporters dig deeper, as old friendships resurface and headlines and speculation grows louder, Trump finds himself surrounded by enemies he can't control. Journalists, comedians, protesters, legislators, billionaires, and one late-night host who refuses to apologize, refuses to step back, and refuses to stop turning Trump's anger into his own entertainment empire. So when Jimmy Kimmel fired back, it wasn't just a joke, it was a declaration that he was done playing defense. Trump threatens to cancel him. Kimmel threatens to outlast him. Trump wants him off the air. Kimmel offers him a deal to leave together. Trump tells a reporter, "Quiet piggy." Kimmel slings it right back without blinking. In a rivalry fueled by pride, ego, humor, anger, and political paranoia, Jimmy Kimmel just showed that he's not afraid of the pre, and he's not going anywhere.